Well, hello there. My name is Katie Humphreys, and I'm the founder of Lane of Roses and an author and an artist.
Yeah, and my name is Rebekah Perryman, and I'm the executive director of Lane of Roses and an author and a lot of other things, a wife, a mom, lots of fun things.
My name is Kelsey, and I'm the empowerment coordinator at Lane of Roses, and I am creative. And a teacher and a wife, maybe most importantly a dog mom.
Oh, and I'm Stacie Taylor, and I am the managing editor and ministry development coordinator for Lane of Roses, and I am also a fur baby mom and a human mom and a human wife.
Good.
Yeah, so this is Coffee Conversations.
Hey everyone, we are so excited to share our last video with you from our series, Coffee Conversations.
In this episode, we'll be talking about what it means to live on purpose for a purpose.
So I guess really for me, we're talking about first ways that we did found our purpose in ways that weren't totally
Found
fulfilling.
our purpose in all the wrong
wrong places.
ways.
And I did something so stupid. So I would always get close to knowing who I was, but not close enough. And so I remember in college, my best friend from high school was super creative. We always had the best time together. We just always had a blast. And we decided one day I think I was on spring break or some kind of break, and I went to her house. We lived in different states, so I flew to her house, and we decided to make our own clothes. Now, she ended up becoming a textile artist. So she found her purpose.
Yeah,
she owns a shop in our hometown, and she sells the coolest stuff that you've ever seen. You want to wear everything that she makes because she is a textile artist. Well, now I am creative, but I have a business making my own clothes. I would get little boys t-shirts because they fit tighter, and then I would cut the neck out, and then I had iron on. I can't finish it. Iron on patches.
Did you keep it?
Iron on patches, they're not to be seen.
Wish you did.
So I had all these iron on patches, and she would walk away with something really cool, and then I would have iron on patches on the little boy's t-shirt. And I would wear them because in my mind, I was always I would be very insecure in areas where I should have security. And then I was always really secure in areas where I had no business being secure. So I'd walk around like I looked like Casey, but I did not, because I am not a textile artist. And so I think really what I discovered was that God made me, He loves me, I am secure. Mm-hmm. And He also gifted me in different ways, but my creativity might not look like another person's creativity. And so it took years and years and years, but the more I got to know God for who He is and accepted my acceptance in Him, that I could just be me apart from copying someone else's version of purpose.
Right.
That I'd really come into my own. And since then I found out I am a visual artist.
Yeah.
I like to paint, oil paints, charcoals, I love that stuff. And unless you guys are lying to me, I'm not the worst at it. Anyhow, but I think that for me that was really it. I had to really find out who God was, accept that He loved me and made me just right. I don't have to copy anybody else. I can be my brand of gifted in my own right. It's going to look different.
Yeah.
So that's what I found.
Yeah, I think that's when you're young, and even when you're not young, you. Yeah. I'm getting old.
I know, I'm the oldest.
We've been
by
going
a
and
lot.
talking to all these the young people in the sororities, and I think I'm funny, but they don't. And I'm starting to think I'm leaving, and I'm oh no, I'm old. I mean, when we're young, we want purpose, right? I think we're born with this we want identity and purpose, and we want to know that our life has a meaning, especially when we start figuring out that life is temporary. We're okay, well, while we're here, we want to find meaning in this life. And so we do things like make clothes, and we have no business making clothes because it sounds purposeful, right? Yeah. People need to wear clothes.
Yeah.
It's important. Yeah. But I think for me, I also struggle just with the concept, it's like I need purpose, but I put all my purpose in just like trying to be perfect in every area of my life. Like I wanted that. So like if I was going to, you know, be a student, then my purpose was not just to be any old student. Like I was going to be a straight A student, and that would be my purpose. And if I was going to be a cheerleader, well, then I had to be the most perfect cheerleader and make everyone happy with me and do everything correctly all the time. And I think what's really funny about trying to be perfect is that it's this crazy unobtainable, I could never be it. And I knew that. Like, I was smart enough to realize, like, perfectionism is unobtainable, but I still thought, well, if anyone can do it, I can, which is pretty prideful. But I crashed and burned, as we all do, and quickly realized that I'm not perfect, but I wasn't meant to be. And my purpose is found in who God says that I am. And that is a purpose worth living for. And as believers, and we all say this, like our purpose is to tell people about the hope and the love of Jesus. But how we do it looks different.
Yeah.
How Katie does it is through her art. And that is beautiful. And she shares so much hope and life through that. And for me, I think I found it just in being able to lead and speak and write.
Teaching.
And yeah. So, but because it's about who God says I am, I no longer strive to be perfect anymore. And I tell you, it is the most freeing thing in the world.
It is.
I say it all the
is
time.
Freedom.
Like every time I like write a speech or get ready to go and do like a talk or something like that, like how much I used to just like worry about being perfect, like I just don't anymore, and I'm so thankful for it. But it never would have happened if I didn't find my purpose in who God said I was.
Yeah.
It was the game changer. Yeah. What about you, Kels?
I was trying to narrow it down on what
got a
was
whole life
like
living
a
for the
way,
wrong things.
what was the way that I found my purpose wrongly, and it's really hard to narrow
Really,
it
you
down.
just had it right from the get-go.
Well, yeah. But I feel like as I was reflecting on it, the common theme is that I try to find my purpose in getting people to like me. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one.
That my value and my worth comes from the opinion of others. And, you hear things or see things like living above reproach, which basically means, you're living a life that's, on purpose for the Lord, and you're giving glory to the Lord, and taking that idea into all that you do, and everything you do it for the glory of God. And so, you're... I took that too seriously, and I took it to mean, well, if I'm doing it to God, doing it for God, I have to get it perfect. I have to have everybody like me. And it's just a lot of pressure to please everybody that you ever meet and expect them to like you. It's just not a realistic
instead of, you think you're living for the Lord, but you actually,
but
find
you're
yourself
actually
living
for the opinion of others.
Yeah.
Which isn't something that...
It's
God's opinion of you is never changing. It doesn't matter if I wake up this morning and I'm running around my kitchen and around my house and I can't find my shoes and I can't find my keys and I can't find my phone, it's one of those mornings.
It's a running joke in our house is Kelsey's there, and after she leaves, husband, he looks around, he's like, okay, what'd she leave?
Well, my
favorite there's got to be something here that's hers.
That she, and I say this because I lose everything too. And when I lose my keys, I say, thank God I'm creative, so I don't beat myself up anymore.
But which now I'm finding an outlet for creativity.
Yeah,
so at least I have that now. But before, what was it?
You got that going for you.
The winter coat during a snowstorm, and it was at my house.
Just leaving at her house.
She calls it
about right. But, she'll have her keys in our house. We're well, she's going to figure out in about 0.5 seconds that she can't go anywhere.
Creative.
So we found what my purpose is not.
Finding
things. Yeah. But, just there's so much pressure when you're living for the opinion of others. Whether that was when I was teaching, striving to have, the perfect score on my, basically my grade as a teacher. On my reports and stuff, or being the teacher that all the students which it's not possible. But and it just, you are constantly being let down, and your opinion of yourself, if your opinion of yourself is dependent and contingent upon the opinion of what others think of you, then your opinion of yourself is like a roller coaster, or a wave that just keeps crashing in and you can't stop it or change it. And but when you lean into, okay, but my purpose is found when I find contentment in the Lord and in His opinion of me, because He clothes me with strength and dignity, and nobody can take that. for me, because he clothed me with both of those things. And so it's unchanging. Like, his opinion of me, his love for me, everything is unchanging. And when I was able to rest in that, then I was able to lean in and listen and say, okay, God, how can I find my purpose in you?
Yeah.
I love that.
And that brought me here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do this job if I hadn't realized that, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's how all of us are. Like, we cannot do what we do and be obedient if, not that we don't still struggle, of course, with our identity and still going back to the same old struggles that we've always had. But, like, we know that we have freedom, and so we can live out our purpose and help empower other people to live out their purpose, too. Yeah. Yeah, and for me, too, that was kind of like a combination of both you and Kelsey, Rebekah. Just, like, I think living for the approval of others so much as in, like, what I would do. So I wanted everything I did to be perfect, but not just, like, objectively perfect, but perfect in everybody's eyes. So, like, well-rounded is my dream word.
Ooh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. Yeah. It's really exhausting, for sure. And so for years, I just, like, I wanted to be approved of by everyone. I wanted to be the best Christian, but at the same time I wanted to be the funniest girl on the basketball team who would, like, make jokes and do whatever else that would impress the older girls or whatever it was. And so it was, you're right, pressure is a good word. With impressing friends, impressing parents, impressing peers, impressing teachers, also the whole straight A student thing, huge identity.
So wonder, I never actually got the B. But my friends always joke, like, wonder what would happen if we just got a B. Like, would you self-destruct? It's like, I might. Maybe. There might happen, actually.
It's funny.
I wish I had allowed it to happen.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Thankfully, God did give me the opportunity to have that very early on in college, and I'm super grateful for it. But
I probably needed that.
Yeah, it was really, like, in my sophomore year of high school, or probably my freshman year, somewhere between 8th grade and freshman year, I realized that was an exhausting way to live, and that if I truly believed what I said I believed, which was that Jesus was my Savior, was my Lord, that God had made me for Him, then I should not be living for anything but Him, and that nothing else was worth living for except Him. There's this quote that says, I stopped living to be successful in different things and became afraid. Instead of failing, I became afraid of becoming successful at stuff that didn't matter. And so that sort of explains when I discovered my purpose in Christ too. I realized it will literally mean nothing if I am just successful at all of these things and all of these humans approve of me, because it's just, that's fleeting and it's not eternal. But I have permanent approval in God because of Jesus. So, like, when God looks at me, He sees what Jesus did for me and sees the perfect life that Jesus lived for me. So I don't have to live a perfect life because He did. And so I just get to rest in that freedom, and I get to be a human mom and a dog mom, and I get to write and I get to teach and help people get it and just enjoy what it means to live a life for God and to share His love and truth with other people.
Yeah. And I love that, like you said, like, eternal purpose, because I think that's just it. Like, everybody wants a purpose, but there's a purpose that God gives us that is eternal, and it truly is, like, the best that we can live. Like, it's it's our best plan because it's His best plan. And I'm like, I love making plans, and so just always wanting, like, I always am like, but I could just, like, make this plan and it would be so good. And I feel like God's always like, yeah, it's, like, a really good plan, but, like, actually, like, I designed this entire world and everything in it, and, like, I can guarantee you that my plan is probably better. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm proud of you. But let's try my plan. But I think that's something I've learned in just discovering my purpose in Him, is that I don't ever want to live any more stories that don't have His name all over them. Like, I don't ever want to live one more day that isn't designed by Him, because I want what's best, and what's best is straight from Him. And that's the purpose I want. And so I think in a life where everyone's seeking purpose, at Lane of Roses, the biggest thing that we want people to find is that they have a God-given purpose, and it is the best for them, because our God wants what's best for His children. And so at Lane of Roses, that's what we say all the time, right? We want you to live on
purpose and for a purpose.
And yes, Katie.
Glad you're enthusiastic.
Yes,
Maybe we should count it off there.
On purpose.
And for a purpose. And that is what we say here at Lane of Roses. But what that means is you were made on purpose. You're not a mistake. Your circumstances, the things that's happened to you, how you've been designed, your quirks, just your personality, all of it. God has intricately, I can never say that word.
Intricately.
Thank you all.
Hey, you know what? That's good. I'm going to give you a B.
See, I'm going to self-destruct. Intricately designed you for a purpose. You are made on purpose. You're not a mistake. He wants you. Your Creator wants you. He designed you, and He loves you just as you are, as who He made you to be. And He made a way through Jesus to know you. And He had to make a way because we live in a fallen world, and God can't be in the presence of sin and darkness and brokenness. So He made a way through Jesus so that we could live out our purpose with Him. So you're made on purpose and for a purpose. And our purpose as children of God, through Jesus, our purpose is to tell the world about the hope that we know and the love that we know because of Jesus. So you were made on purpose. You're not a mistake. For a purpose, to tell the world about about Jesus, about your loving Father, about the hope and the love and the joy that He gives you. But the thing is, we're all different. All of us have different stories, different circumstances, different personalities, all of that, different gifts and talents. And so you were made on purpose and for a purpose. And how you live out that purpose will look different because you are a masterpiece, uniquely designed by our Creator. And He has a gallery of masterpieces up in heaven. I truly believe it. And He counts every single one of them as worth it and beautiful and wonderful and magnificent. So live a masterpiece life, living out your purpose because you were made on purpose and for a purpose.
This is my identity, daughter